over to the demo area because we've got the guys from Adult Swim Games. Jackie and Sean are here to talk about a whole lineup of Adult Swim games. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Pretty good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. So you guys are coming to E3 with force, as I said, with multiple titles from the Adult Swim's family. So let's get right into talking about what you guys are doing. Obviously, everyone knows and loves Adult Swim, the network, and you guys. What I love about it is Adult Swim Games. You know, it's not always just about games based on shows from Adult Swim at all. You guys have tons of other cool, creative titles that you know are just interesting games. How do you guys decide what makes an Adult Swim game? Like, what is the vibe or the ethos of those games?
So one thing that we always say is we try to do for games what Adult Swim does for TV.
Yeah.
So that's one reason we don't just have licensed games for our own TV shows. So it's all about indie developers coming to us and pitching us. We bring it back to the full team, and we kind of take a vote and see where it goes from there. Yeah.
All right, well, let's see the first game that passed quorum, I guess.
All right.
Not to get made. This is Kingsway on the PC, right?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell us a bit about this one.
So this one is an operating system, but also a game at the same time. So imagine taking an early 90s style operating system, your Windows, your Mac, that sort of idea, but it's an RPG at the same time. So there's all sorts of different ideas. Like if you want to travel the world, you've got to open up the little globe up there in the upper left-hand corner that looks like the old internet thing.
Yeah.
You build your character, you're trying to go, you travel through the map. If you, this right now at the moment where you're being attacked, which shows up as a pop-up window that moves across the screen. You're trying to basically manage all these windows at the exact same time, which could be beautifully frustrating. Incredibly, beautifully frustrating.
Absolutely, yeah. So this is an OS RPG.
An OS RPG. Now,
Yeah.
Tell us about the developer. How did this come to life? Who's making this?
This is one guy. His name is Andrew Morish. Brilliant, brilliant dude. Super Puzzle Platformer was a game he worked on with us before. And he sent this to us, and this is one of those games that we got in. We're like, all right, everybody at the company started playing it to check it out, and then nobody put it down for like a whole week. And it was just this little demo, and none of us could stop playing it. It was so addictive, and it's it's so unique. There's nothing like this game out there.
Yeah, no, and the fact that one guy built this.
One guy, including
and
the
found
music.
you guys, and the fact that you listened to him, took his pitch. I mean, that's what's so cool.
Yeah, and like I said, we had published one of his early games, Super Puzzle Platformer. He's just brilliant. Like he's just this brilliant developer with all these really unique ideas. I also think it's funny that he went with an early '90s OS. I don't even think he's that old. I think this
I don't
the
think he's
OS
old
now
enough
is
for
older
that.
than him.
Yeah, we see some people that are like, oh, Windows XP game. I'm like, this is not Windows XP.
You're like, yeah.
That's so cool. Well, it looks awesome. Now, when is this one going to come out?
This one is coming this summer, so we're not announcing the exact date just yet.
Okay.
But that information is coming very soon, but it will be out this summer.
Yeah. All right. Well, one guy he's got to fix every bug himself.
It's absolutely true.
Give him
He's
some
doing a
time.
great job of it. So.
He really is. He really is. We're very proud of him.
All right. Very cool. Now, what else do we have from the Adult Swim family to talk about?
So we have a lot to talk about. I think one thing people are excited for, which we announced at PAX West last year, is that we are working with the ToeJam and Earl developers on ToeJam and Earl Back in the Groove.
So cool.
So that's really exciting. Everyone, well, maybe not everyone, but the older ones of us remember playing ToeJam when we were young.
Yep.
So this is the original developers, very much sticking to the original style.
Did they do a Kickstarter for this initially?
Yes.
They did.
Yeah,
That's how we found out it was coming back.
Remember that.
And Greg Johnson, he was one of the two original creators of it, and he wanted to bring it back. We keep saying this is a brand new game from 1991. It has that. If you were a fan of the original, it very much feels like a little bit of a remix of the first game and also the second ToeJam and Earl
Still
game.
very funky, though, right?
Yes,
Right. So,
it's
like as you can see,
funky.
this is actually the hyper-funk zone.
Hyper-funk zone.
Right, so you're going back to the hyper-funk zone.
Yeah.
You get to do stuff like that, which is more of a ToeJam and Earl, the second game. But it's still, ToeJam and Earl have stolen or borrowed a rocket ship. They borrowed it to take a rocket ship on a joyride, of course, crashing it into Earth. So you have to go around finding all the pieces to put it back together so you can return the ship before you get in trouble.
Wow.
So, and another thing this game brings back is a lot of the favorite NPCs from the old game are now playable characters. So there's more playable character choices. Obviously, updated graphics, but it maintains the style of the original gameplay.
Yeah, it looked absolutely beautiful.
And the soundtrack is fantastic.
The soundtrack is super funk. It's really
It's very funky.
There's a gentleman who he wrote a whole bunch of bass lines for this, and he was hired. This is actually one of the reasons why he got into music, was playing the original and hearing those bass lines and that funk on the original thing. It made him want to play funk guitar, so funk bass.
lot of good stuff. All right, well that's great. And how far are they into development on this one?
This one is pretty far along.
Okay.
So people should be hearing about release window from us soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one's in a good place. We're excited to get it out.
Looks amazing, and yeah, that's definitely a classic Sega game from
Yes.
back in the day. We all remember. So we Crash Bandicoot on, ToeJam and Earl, all this stuff, which is great. Cool. Anything else from Adult Swim that we look forward to at E3?
Yep.
So those people that know Adult Swim games and know our PC games, one of their favorite titles from us is Duck Game.
Yep.
A while ago, we announced that it was coming to console. It still is. People ask us all the time. But we have some B-roll from the console version here.
Yep.
You just look at it, you start to laugh.
It's still Duck Mania. It's still Insanity.
It's still the best 4-player multiplayer game you could ever play.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And we have some new things added to this version, including a hungry little man.
Okay.
People asked for a lot of different new modes in this game, and some of that exists. But we also added a hungry little man.
Okay.
Which is very, very important.
A hungry little man.
I feel like the more we
ducks.
explain the hungry little man, the less it'll make sense.
Yeah.
And but hashtag hungry little man, very important, very important.
All right. Well, looks very fun and coming to console, you said, right?
Yeah, this will be coming to consoles.
Yep, and we're adding, there's some new guns, some new maps, etc. So there's new content going in there. And then that update will hit the PC version as well.
Yeah.
You guys always have so much stuff. We got one last title to talk about.
Yes.
Yeah.
So one last title is Battle Chef Brigade.
So good.
This is made by Trinket Studios. They're a great studio out of the indie scene in Chicago.
Yeah.
So this
Oh,
game
cool.
is super fun. You play as Mina. This is Mina right here.
Love the art.
Yeah. This is beautiful
Also one
art.
guy. The art is
Come on.
one guy.
The art is one guy.
The art is one guy. He has this incredible, like all the animations, everything like that. One of the things I love about this game is it's the first game I've seen that uses the anime style that I actually feel pulls it off. Like in a way, it's beautiful story-wise. It's incredible. It's kind of, you are in a fantasy world, but there's a cooking competition, like an Iron Chef style cooking competition. So, but you have to hunt your own ingredients first. When they tell you that you need dragon as an ingredient, that means you're gonna have to go out and hunt the dragon yourself. So it's a little bit of that side-scrolling action, but then there's also a whole cooking mechanic and a creative aspect to that as well, as you get judged on the things that you make.
Yes.
All right. Cooking, combat, you got it all in Adult Swim games.
Absolutely.
Always unexpected stuff. Jackie and Sean, thank you so much for coming by.
Thanks
YouTube
for
Live,
having us.
Thank you so
Can't
much.
wait to see what's next.